Hey guys, this is Ali Beydoun with Century 21, Kern and Oberski with week 6 of your real estate market updates. And today I decided to talk about inspections. I've been going to sellers' homes, prospective sellers, and we've been talking, and when I mentioned the inspection process to them, I feel like they're not too familiar with the process as to what an inspection really is, what I'm supposed to do. They automatically assume, well, most of them do, that it's as is. It's an as-is sale, and they don't have anything to do. Now, in some cities, and in most cases, that is the case, because some cities don't even require you to do a city inspection to assume a C of O, a certificate of occupancy for the sale of real estate to take to the closing table and close with and give it over to the buyer. So there's two different types of inspections we're going to talk about today, and the first one is the real estate sale city inspection, and the second one is a private inspection, and there's usually a misconception between the two. Okay, so we're going to start off with the C of O city inspection. Okay, so there's a couple of things that I want you guys to be aware of before putting your property on the market, and in specific, a lot of Wayne County cities require this. Dearborn Heights, for example, I'm going to go off their standard guidelines for their city inspections, and it's pretty much similar all around. Some places are a little more lenient than others, right? But for Dearborn, preparing for your inspection for the sale of real estate, make sure all the areas of the house and the garage are clear of furniture, boxes, bags, cars, anything possible in your garage and in your home, because if an inspector goes out there from the city and he wants to inspect that particular property and notices that there's a bunch of stuff in the way, he won't even inspect it. He'll leave and charge you a $50 or whatever other cities charge fee to, come back out there. Clean up the exterior yard areas, grass, trim the bushes. These are things that I talked about a few weeks ago in our earlier segment about upkeeping the property for sale. Well, this also goes along with the inspection. You'd want your property to be clean anyway when bringing in a prospective buyer. Remove trash, debris, non-usable items throughout the property. Repair broken hanging shutters, awnings throughout the property. Make sure that all those things are intact. Loose siding, right? If you have like aluminum siding, vinyl siding on your property, if they're hanging and they're hazardous, they can fall on somebody, possibly hurt somebody. Make sure they're tight, they're hammered in and they're tightened up to where they're not harming anybody. Make sure the fences are repaired. Make sure they're painted. If you have a wood fence, make sure those things are all intact. Replace missing storm windows or doors. If those are broken, missing, they cost nothing. Go to Home Depot, buy them $20, $25, and you'll get a brand new one. Put them in there. Check leaking or dripping water around the property, right? That's very important. If there's any leaking, dripping water of that nature, the city's very keen on this stuff. Make sure the stuff is repaired. Smoke detectors. Obviously, it's a hazard. If you're sleeping and there's a fire, God forbid, in your property and you don't have smoke detectors, the city really wants you to have one in every room. Well, most of the rooms, the bedrooms or living area, living space. Make sure that the vacuum breakers are also, taken care of, also known as backflow preventers, right? These devices, they're required at laundry tubs and outdoor water spouts. Outlet and light switch plates. Now, those outlet light switch plates, they cost 50 cents to $1 at Home Depot. Get those. Sometimes when you paint your property, you might forget to replace those things and put them back in. They're really nothing. The handrails, those are also required in a property. Obviously, elderly people, anybody of any age going up and down stairs might trip and fall on a step. They got to grab onto a handrail. If it's not there, it's pretty hazardous. Make sure that there's, obviously when you're selling your property, you're going to have to get the furnace inspected, and that is something separate, right? You're going to have to call a contracted, heating and cooling guy, somebody to go out there and take a look at the property and certify your furnace and make sure that it's in good standing. The city will require a receipt from them to make sure that it's been certified and tested. Okay, now when you go to your local city, the seller may go, your realtor can go for you. It costs roughly around $200 for a single family residential, $250 for a multifamily residential. Now moving on to the private inspection. City inspection, usually a seller takes care of it. The buyer could assume it, right? He can buy the property as is, go to the city, buy a closing letter and assume that. But for the private inspection, if you're buying a home, you want to make sure that everything in there is good, right? And different inspectors charge different rates depending on the square footage of the property. You know, some of them do sewer cam inspections underground to make sure that your piping underground is good. There's no cracks under there, nothing that's going to be very costly down the line. Private inspector, you know, talk to your local realtor, talk to your agent, talk to me, call me, ask me any questions you have. If you're writing up an offer on a property, you know, a lot of the times it's a good idea to put in there a private inspection period, which is roughly around 7 to 10 days, right, give or take. And then you have a 2 or 3, you know, grace period, a 2 or 3 day grace period after the inspection, you know, to respond to the seller or to the agent if you're moving forward with the sale after the inspection, or if you want the seller to fix the stuff in the inspection. If you're okay with the inspection and, you know, maybe you want to reduce the price a little bit because the inspection wasn't all that great, there was some stuff in there that wasn't, you know, that you weren't happy with, you know, you can negotiate those things on in an inspection. Make sure that your realtor knows this, and if you don't respond within that time frame, the 2 or 3 days after the inspection's done, in email, right, to the seller or the listing agent, then you can put your deposit on the line. You know, you could possibly lose your deposit, right? But guys, make sure, you know, you get these inspections done. A lot of the times people buy property, they get overwhelmed, they get excited, they don't know what's in the walls. There could be mold, there could be leaks, there could be things that the city does not catch on to. And a lot of people see this, they have a misconception between the city inspection and the private inspection. If you have any more questions, guys, call me directly. I'm happy to answer any of your questions. 313-598-5100. You want to buy or sell real estate, give me a call. This is week 6 of your real estate market update. I'll see you guys next week. Take care.